Welcome back to A People's Guide to Publishing. I'm Joe Beal, the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing and Distribution. I'm also the author of A People's Guide to Publishing, which distills what I've learned from selling millions of books over the past 25 years.
I'm Ellie Blue. I'm the editorial and marketing director here at Microcosm. We are an independent mid-list publisher based in Portland, Oregon, and Cleveland, Ohio. We have over 700 books, over 25 employees, and we make about 40 new books every year. And we distribute thousands of titles from other publishers.
We started this podcast so that we can share what we've learned with newer publishers so that you can learn from our mistakes.
Or maybe you just want to understand the publishing industry.
This week, we are going to answer a reader question.
Thanks, reader.
And that question is, and I think they mean this in the context of publishing, because I think otherwise it's fairly self-evident. What is a sales conference?
I didn't know this when I first started here.
Nobody knows this.
It doesn't...
Still, to this day. Fortunately, we are going to take some stabs at this.
Are you ready to guess?
In the dark,
Putting yourself out there.
I'm going to take some wild swings.
What's a sales conference, Joe?
So, normally... Like, imagine you're an MLM person. Don't worry, you won't have to imagine this for very long. And you sell multi-level marketed soaps and bath salts and, I don't know, what else? Gallon containers of shampoo.
Don't do it.
And, so a sales conference for you would be like you're summoning all your friends and family to come over and you're, like, working with all of your marks and, like, trying to convince them that they really need these soaps and shampoos and such. Well, in publishing, like, I don't know, every relationship is sort of not like that. It's like, I would say, almost excessively mediated, And so when you have a sales conference in publishing, you're selling to the people who sell to the people who sell to the people that actually read the book.
Many, many middle people.
Yeah. And that is... not an exaggeration.
No.
And it's confusing because, oftentimes, when I started, nobody was like, hi, this is who you're, what we're doing. They would be like, are you coming to the sales conference? And I would be like, oh, that sounds important. I'll be there. And then, so I think, oh, these are the key buyers that have all been assembled because this is so important, and then they're going to go order the books. But no, those are the salespeople. And then they sell to the account buyers, sometimes at the wholesalers or at the retailers. And then those people sell to the stores who sell to the people that actually read the books.
So the sales conference is a chance for the publisher to train salespeople to sell their next season of books.
And, almost more importantly, an opportunity for the salespeople to train the publisher.
Yes.
What not to say, not to go on and on, what is not relevant, like how to talk about the book,
And they also give feedback about the books because it's usually not too late at that point.
Right, yeah, it's a lot of like identifying deficiencies in a book design or book development, that's...
They're like, you could get an extra $1 for this, or that cover doesn't work for me, or what is other sales conference feedback?
What the hell is that book about? Or like, a lot of times they'll be like, this subject is, I want to say, I've gotten some funny ones where they'll be like, buyers are currently treating this subject like the plague. They want nothing to do with it. Or they would be like, take that word off the cover and replace it with this other word. Or if this person is mysterious, well, nobody cares that they're mysterious. They care about the reason they're important to their life. So tell us that. Don't tell us a crazy account of somebody nobody's ever heard of. And you're like, well, yeah, great. Tell me why I care. And that is the generalized sort of, or like if a book puts a negative association with something unrelated or looks like, I've had it where we have a book that was like a business book and they were like, is this a book about typography? And, you just want to do it, it's like multifaceted, but it kind of just helps you to take it more seriously and to like realize that all of your choices have impacts
And then the way you talk about the book is so important at the sales conference, because you're not just like telling them sort of the key marketing handle for the book that they'll use to sell it to the other middle people, but you're also indicating to them how much effort you're going to put behind this book. Like, you're using that sales conference to show them, like, this is a book we believe in so much that we're going to buy all this advertising and go for all these reviews, and then that's important information for them to have that helps them sell.
Yeah. And ideally you are not just reading them the description that you have written masterfully, and you are not you really want to be adding supplemental information that, that's something along the lines of like, oh, we've gotten pre-commitments from this TV show, or, this author is friends with this famous author who, contributed this endorsement, things like that help the, you really want to give anecdotes for the salespeople to in turn give to the stores, to in turn give to the customers, that help everybody along the chain to feel like they're invested in and they have like some kind of personalized information about the book. So that could be like everything from like, oh, when they were working on this funny thing happened. And that's like a cool story because it can help somebody to like feel invested in it.
So for the like newer publishers out there, you have sales conferences. Like when you sign with a distributor, you will probably go or call into that distributor's sales conference, right?
I wonder if they still do that stuff in person.
I don't know.
Good question.
We don't know. Tell us if you know, but
like we, our first few years of self-distributing, they were like, okay, we do that in New York in person, and then after 2 years, they were like, yeah, it's just way too expensive for everybody to fly to New York and like get bussed around. So like we'll just have a phone call and I'll be like,
oh, these are our independent rep groups. Yeah, I don't think they liked it that we had it in the like squatters museum with no air conditioning.
They loved that. They said that was great.
They were definitely like, climate control next time, you guys.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, all those relationships are yet further mediated by your distributor, who is like, you have 15 minutes to tell us about all your books.
Yeah, and this distributors are usually having like a week of sales conferences, so all of their salespeople and data people and so on and so forth are going to be like sitting in a conference room, eating catered lunches like for 8 hours a day for however many days, and you have 15 minutes of that. And so you really also, trust me, you want to get the time not right before lunch. Yeah. And not right at the end of the day.
And
get them while they're fresh.
You want to be practiced enough that like you know what you're saying.
Oh, and you need to hold their attention. It's a performance.
And so that's like, think about if you had to sit through 5 to 7 days of presentations, what would be compelling to you? Because at some point around day 4 you begin hating books. That's in the before lunch hour, but
they're definitely looking for something to keep them on their toes and awake.
But done right, a sales conference is what equips the salespeople to go out and effectively sell the books and not have the stores be surprised when they receive them. Thanks for joining us once again.
Please send your questions to podcast@microcosmpublishing.com so we can answer them on future episodes.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed.
You can find us on the internet at microcosm.pub.
On Twitter at Microcosm.
On Facebook at Microcosm Publishing.
On Instagram at Microcosm_pub.
And here in Portland, Oregon on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.